I've submitted to a public protector. So my appeal was, let them go to a public protector. With their wisdom, it will enrich the inquiry. And that's my expectation, because he's innocent until proven guilty. Now look, if I ask you today where you're sitting, that who are you? I don't expect you to get angry with me. I don't expect you to go to the street and ask even young children to attack me. This question is simple. The immigration officers at our border points are asking these questions on a daily basis. Whoever appears at the airport, who are you? That's why they produce their passports. Even at the registration office, for you to be given an LRC, they want to know who you are. Why do they do that? It will satisfy themselves that you're one of us. So, I did it in good faith and trying to protect ourselves. Let me tell you this. I was beginning to be increasingly worried at the tenor of events in Zambia. We thought when we removed one-party state, we will have freedoms and parallel freedoms where we speak, we travel. Suddenly, I saw this beginning to shrink to a point where, when there was a case to do with Mr. Hichilema, people say, why do you defend him? We saw some of the most vicious dogs in this land, the German shepherds, unleashed on us there. Over a case, I came on this platform and challenged that treason thing for Mongo. I questioned that. I said, look, even to kill the president himself is not treason. It is just murder. But they charged him with treason. To date, everybody knows there was no treason. And we saw these vicious dogs. We saw our policemen clad in uniforms that we had never seen before. Masks and all that. Now surely, I don't expect fellow Zambian to do that to us. I would have expected them to say, since the matter is before the courts of laws, let them handle it. But they unleashed some of the fiercest police with their guns and dogs on us. Those of us who are going to attend those cases. I say to myself, no, there's more to this conduct. In the gene of Zambians, we are very forgiving. I am yet to see a Zambian who would want to see you dead. We quarrel a lot, but I don't think we go to that extent. So, I began to say to myself, how do I get to know the truth about this man? Confronting myself will not be a solution. This is why I decided to follow the law. So what Mr. Swale saying, when I listened to him, I said to myself, oh, so I'm not the only one. There are people who know a little more. Mr. Swale could be just one of those persons. There are others who have come to us to say, I know this, I know this. But to be fair to the man, we've taken this matter to a public protector so that through that inquiry, all those information can go and adduce that evidence. We want cogent evidence. Look, we're not in a hurry to get a man implicated in identity which we don't know. You are the only person who can tell us who you are, nobody else. I do not expect his ministers to defend him. I don't expect a party spokesperson to, even his public relations officer at State House, to defend him. Those are just colleagues who met at work. What do they know about each other? They know very little. And this is why in my caveat I said, I want his mother, father, aunt, uncle, mature people who can vouch for him. Because my mother is 86. And I think it's in the same range with His Excellency Mr. Lungu's mother. My mother is still alive. She's still able to recall things and be able to tell me. I would want him to say, here's my mother, or here's my father. If they are dead, if they passed on, we will respect that. But there's always a way. If your parents have passed on, you can lead people to the graves so that we are satisfied that something like that happened. Or two, you can get elders from your village to come and say, this is our person. My sister or my brother died. Simple question asking. But this has turned into a vicious campaign to call us names. I'm a Congolese, I'm Malawan, I'm what and what. I'm defending a principle. For me, the defense of an ideal is more important than popularity. Those who think I am mad, some people, Mumbipiri, my seven, even called me a madman. surely a madman is able to question the identity of a person. It's not possible. So I've been patient enough to wait. If at the end of the day, it is proved that I was being malicious, I'm ready to apologize, or I'm ready to face any punishment that the people of Zambia would like to impose. Because I must be fair to him, and that's why I went to the public protector.
Having said that, and President Swale, having said that, the Nsenga Royal Establishment in Petauke Eastern Province have expressed shock at continued public assertions from the opposition politicians that President Edgar Lungu is not Zambian but a Malawian national. Senior Chief Kalindawalo, Chief Mumbi, Nyampande and Chieftainess Nyanje maintained that President Edgar Lungu is their son from Mukwama village in Petauke district. Now, the traditional leaders have since appealed to politicians to desist from insulting President Edgar Lungu's parentage and instead support him to govern and develop the country. Now, Zanis staffer Chimangeni Banda was in Petauke district and filed in the following report. Let's have a look at this report and then we get to your reactions later on. Okay, it seems that report is not ready, but we should be getting back to that particular report as soon as possible. But the All Congress Party President also Nason Musoni did react to these assertions and
in Eastern Province
had this
have
to say. Let's
described as
see if we can have
and
Mr.
insulting
Musoni.
assertions by some opposition politicians that President Edgar Lungu is not a Zambian but a Malawian. Senior Chief Kalindawalo of the Nsenga-speaking people, along with Chiefs Mumbi, Nyampande and Chieftainess Nyanje, have cleared the air over President Lungu's parentage and nationality.
The head of state
Called for an end to the smear campaign.
This question, which has arisen, and the thinking that our head of state is a foreigner, amazes me. It amazes me because it's a syndrome. We were talking the same thing, doubting Kaunda. We talked the same thing about Chiluba. Chiluba was related to me through money. And I worked with Mwanawaza. We were talking about Mwanawaza coming from a parent from Malawi. Why this syndrome?
The chiefs laid the way to Mukwama village, 20 kilometers north of Petauke Bombo. It is here in Mukwama village that President Lungu's father, Padule Lungu, and grandfather, Saili Lungu, were born and are buried. 20 kilometers north of Petauke Bomb. It is here in Mukwama village that President Lungu's father, Padule Lungu, and grandfather, Saili Lungu's mother, Zanalesi Zulu, also comes from Simambulu village, some 30 kilometers east of Petauke Bomb. The president's tribesmen and women are shocked President Lungu's mother, branding their kinsman, Zulu, a Malawian, also comes from they are baffled that this matter some 30 kilometers east 3 years after former vice president, the president's tribesmen and women, then acting as president of Zambia, branding after the death of President Michael Sata. They sent state agents to verify Mr. Lungu's parentage. 3 years this woman is President Lungu's aunt, Guy Scott, the surviving sister of President Lungu's Zambia. After the death of President Michael Sata, sent state agents to verify Mr. Lungu's parentage. This woman is President Lungu's aunt, the surviving sister of President Lungu's father. Mwami
Lungu. Umoyo wa president olokuti ise tinali kuno kumunzi koma ezobwera nawo atati pamaolide pala ezobwera nawo tizonkhala nawo kuno kumunzi kwamkwama huko koma abantu bakuti munthu akakulira ku town amankhala wosokonezeka ochita koma yeve awe ndipo anali munthu wosafuna vokamba akawera chabe abantu ezode bati umene tete no ku town uyatiya timbona nikhalidwe yake makunkhalira na ulemu ali nawo nishapo galato ntakali pa school
a president anankhala kozoona ko babewe tumaeni olwa a president ngwe chibadwa olwa mafunzo bawa na anatera ko babewe kuno aona ko wakula kale kama kubadwa badwa ko babewe takulia ko babewe olwa mafunzo bawa ni ko babewe.
The Nsenga chiefs have since dared the doubting Thomases.
In this country, the most unfortunate and ridiculous thing in our politics is the tendency to try to denigrate each other when it's totally unnecessary, because the point you want to make is not coming out. I think that just shows the failure to come up with the logical reasons for opposing each other. The issue of the president's parentage or his origins should not be an issue for all this public hyperbole. What has been happening or what we have been hearing in the press is only a manifestation of failure to deal with the real issues in the country. I'm sure if anybody seriously wanted to find out the president's origin, they would have found out without having to go to great lengths to spread out innuendo which has no bearing on the reality.
Chimange Nibanda, Zanis, Mukwama village, Petauke district.
To the All People's Congress.
My name's President Nason Musoni. I'm President for All People's Congress. My answer to the question that whether President Lungu comes from Eastern Province or not, I think my immediate reaction, my immediate answer would be that I do not believe that President Lungu is from Eastern Province. Remember, we campaigned in 2015 and 2016 for him. And all the time that we campaigned in Eastern Province, we never went to his village. He never showed us where his village was. We have our own doubts whether President Lungu's claims that he comes from Eastern Province are true. It is our conviction and view that President Lungu may be coming from Malawi. He has no footprints in Eastern Province. All our investigations and inquiries clearly show that Mr. Lungu does not hail from Eastern Province. Like many other of his predecessors who have also similarly said that they hail from Eastern Province, it would appear that we have a problem. The province has these grievances of non-bona fide Easterners claiming to be coming from Eastern Province, and we are sick and tired as a province. The people of Eastern Province are sick and tired of aliens using the province as a springboard for their political ambition, to attain their political ambition. We think that all these things are happening because of the tragic failure of our security systems to vet and investigate all those individuals who are putting themselves up for office of president.
Okay.
We should be getting to the text messages that we have received later on the program. But before we do that, Mr. Suwale, your quick reaction to the first detailed report of President Lungu's origin, which has even showed us his aunt, the traditional leaders there, saying he is from there, and the other headman was even challenging to go and show the people where President Edgar Lungu's mother and father are buried.
You see, it's very sad that the only role we can apportion their Royal Highnesses in the governance of this country is to be paraded in politics. Look, I am a subject. Though I may come from another chief, I'm still their subject. And I would not want to be part of the disrespect that we have seen, you know, their Royal Highnesses being paraded, made to say things that ordinarily they would not say them. I am their subject, and I would love that their Royal Highnesses would find time, summon us to their palaces. We are their subjects, they can summon us any time. We go and explain, we'll show them the evidence that we have of what we are talking about. In their reaction to the issue of nationality, the Royal Highnesses have said President Lungu's mother is Zanales Zulu. But according to this book, she's Eliza Tasira J. You see the contradiction. Let us not embarrass the Royal Highnesses. Then who amongst us here has 5 chiefs or 4 chiefs? I only have 1 chief. So 5. So President Lungu is a subject of 4 or 5 chiefs. He only needed 1 chief to speak for him. So that shows that there's something wrong with his identity. Then the other thing is this. Are the Royal Highnesses sure of the identity of the person they're calling their son? Because in this case, there are 2 people involved. One is Jonathan Mutawale, the other one is Edgar Lungu. So who are they speaking for? Who are they calling their son? So, fellow citizens, let us not subject their Royal Highnesses to ridicule, to cheap politics. Let us not subject our Royal Highnesses to these tricks, lies, because you see they are the custodians of our traditional and cultural values. Now, these are the people who are the custodians of our moral authority. Then you begin to parade them in politics of lies, trickery, deceit. It's embarrassing for us as citizens, as their subjects, because that grand norm, our cultural norms, are being watered down on the altar of political expediency, and that is not what we want in this country. Let us apportion functions of responsibility to their Royal Highnesses in the governance structure, so that they be part of the development of this country. Because, first and foremost, you must recognize that wherever there is chieftaincy, there is land. Wherever there is a council like Lusaka City Council, there is land. So the only difference between the mayor of Lusaka and the senior chief Kalindawalo is that the mayor of Lusaka has officers and qualified personnel to help him administer and manage the affairs of Lusaka. Senior Chief Kalindawalo does not have offices, it's not institutionalized, it's not, the chieftaincy is not formalized. So there are no qualified people to help him administer and manage the affairs of the Kalinda Chieftaincy Council. So, even record keeping is a problem at chieftaincy level. But here, the modern chief has people who keep records. So, let us begin to give responsibility. Let us begin to deliver these functions to the chieftaincies so that the administration and management of, you know, our traditional councils are in line with modern tenets of management, not parading them for political expediency. We must stop that.
President Mulongoti, they did indicate, the chiefs did indicate that this issue of bringing in the nationality of presidents actually did not start with President Edgar Lungu. It was there with Dr. Kenneth Kaunda and President Frederick Chiluba. Also, this issue came up, and Chief Nyampande, if I'm not mistaken, did indicate that this is failure by politicians to deal with real issues.
I do not want to demean the Royal Highnesses by answering over what they said, but suffice to say that Mr. Edgar Lungu, the current president of Zambia, he was a lawyer when they were inquiring on the nationality of the late Dr. Chiluba. Surely, if that time it was right, what's wrong this time inquiring into his nationality? We're not giving to him new medicine. We are giving him back the medicine which he already knows. If it's quinine he gave that time, we are giving to him the same quinine. So I don't want people to react in the manner they are doing it. But however, for the sake of just common sense, Mr. Edgar Lungu got elected president in 2015. Did you see the ceremony where a chief from Petauke came to show happiness that one of the subjects had risen to the highest office in the land? In 2016, he got re-elected. Did you witness any ceremony by Royal Highnesses to come and, we've seen it in the past where people come and spray some white stuff on the face of their celebrated child. We've never seen all that. So when we're asking questions that why our Royal Highnesses appeared when in defense of their subject, when they've not celebrated with him on his achievements. Look, I was a member of parliament for Fanyama. I had 6 chiefs. Before I even contested, I'd go and see the chiefs to seek leave. Please allow me to contest. After winning, I went back to say, please, thank you very much, the support and whatever you. That's what we expect. Imagine if I was elected president. The 6 chiefs would have found my state house a very pleasant development, because it goes with a lot of things, isn't it? The power, the money, I tell you. But we haven't seen that. So meaning that the Royal Highnesses did not recognize his achievement until we've questioned his identity. This is not adding up. We have nothing against our Royal Highnesses, but there are things that are not adding up. Look, all presidents who've been in State House, we've had them with funerals, weddings, blah, blah. This is the exception to that rule. We've never had him attend the funeral of his family member, a wedding of his family member. Surely, where does he come from where they don't die, they don't marry? It's not normal. This is what is making us ask questions. Because you, surely I've known you for a while. There are times when we're looking for you, you are not there because you got a sick relative or something. But with this one, the new one, the new miracle child, who the chiefs are saying these are his parents, his own book is saying these are parents. These mysteries are beginning to worry us. We need to get to the bottom of this so that he can comfort us that he's one of us. Mind you, he got an alien from outer space. How do we know? Is it possible that you have the name of your mother from your chief different from the name that you know yourself as a child? You have no bereavements in the family. You have no ceremonies like weddings, and this is not possible. I'm an African. I have an extended family. I'll tell you, I attend the funerals, weddings, and what have you. And we would want to see that, because it's not possible. There's questions. So, I think my brother, in the last presentation, he talked about our Royal Highnesses swearing affidavits, because that affidavit is a record that they are saying what is true, and when they are challenged on that, they'll be able to answer, because we must all be truthful. And this is why I did not volunteer anything. I quoted the law, and I still stand by what the law says, that the inquiry must be lawful based on what the Constitution provides. So, for us, we listened very carefully to what President Musoni has said. President Musoni is saying the Eastern Province has been used as a ladder for people from outside Zambia to achieve their political ambitions at the expense of the Eastern Province people. We have nothing against people from Eastern Province. Now we hear the complaint that they've been used as the rubber mats and whatever for the benefit of outsiders. He is not one of us here. He's speaking as a person who comes from the Eastern Province. This talk is not new. It was there in the UNIP time. People questioned the people who were appointed to government by Dr. Kaunda. But even now, if you look at the appointments that our current president has made, if you dig deep, you will discover there's a trail leading into outside. When you check who this is, we've been under state capture from the people President Musoni is complaining about. They've taken power, and they've been very consistent over it. And the listeners are saying, they are talking to us now, that please help us. We've been victims. People have taken our positions, pretending they come from the Eastern Province. Just names. I've been to Malawi myself. I went to Longwe, Blantyre. I traveled up to Mulanje, to Monkey Bay, whatever. The names of sure they are similar. But does it imply that if your name is Banda from the Longwe, it is possible you can pass as another Banda in Zambia and there's nothing wrong with that. No. So these are the questions that we're asking, because you can see an indigenous Easterner complaining. I think we need to look at this issue in a very, very sober manner. Let us not underplay it. Let's not accuse those of us who ask these questions, because we mean well for Zambia. When they carved the map of Zambia, those who were in the boundaries of Zambia, we've never asked them to go away. But when they begin to make falsehoods, today this side are Zambians, the next day the other leg they're in the other country, and claiming citizenship there as well, that's when it becomes questionable for all of us.
Mm-hmm. We now take a look at the text messages that are coming from the viewers out there, so that we see if we have any text messages. Okay, my director tells me we do not have any text messages.
And as a rider, before you come in, you see, the good thing about what has transpired with their Royal Highnesses in Eastern Province, in Petauke, is that this book talks about Eliza Tasira Jere. They're talking about Zanalesi Zulu. Can't you see that it confirms that we are talking about two different people? They're two mothers. Because one person cannot have two mothers. Okay? So, here are two mothers, and we are talking about two different people. This confirms it.
President Mlongoti, apart from the fact that his biography does not show which primary school he went to, and the fact that house number 4001 has its toilet outside, as opposed to the pictures that show that the toilets are inside, and also what other evidence do you have to show that President Edgar Lungu is not from Zambia?
Well, let's go to the house you've talked about. We sent a journalist to Chimwemwe, and when he heard that, what happened is that the tenants, the people who lived in that house, were told to leave that house because they had been paid for. In the night it was bought. They were evicted from that house, and they found them in another house somewhere. They had to leave by midnight that day. We've been following these things. We went and interviewed those people and said, hey, what's happened to you? Oh, we've been evicted. We've been told that the house had been bought by the president. Now you see, that kind of conduct is an indication that what was he trying to hide? Why didn't he give those people sufficient time to just prepare themselves to go away? Why force them to leave by midnight in a house which he claimed was part of his heritage? All right? 2, we sent people to Mkua Secondary School to try and check out this Edgar Lungu, who was a student there. In every institution, there are people who serve there for too long. They're messengers, they're cleaners, they survive too long a period. When asked whether they knew there was an Edgar Lungu, he said yes, but his complexion was different. He was not brown, he was dark. Now he is doing renovations at Mukuba to uplift the school. They were asked whether the one who was selling materials has ever been there. They only